2, 1.
Ready.
Just relax and enjoy the ride.
In crowd, 815, in crowd, 815, in crowd, 815, in crowd, 815, 815.
I'm pretty sure Tom is going to agree with me this week. Some foods, they just taste better coming out of a truck. I'm Greg.
Sure.
He's Tom. It's what is today? It's the 10th day of August of the year 2024, the latest it has ever been.
In the history of mankind. And I see what you're saying, because one time this guy in a pickup threw a hamburger outside of his truck. I went and picked it up and ate it. And it was a free hamburger, and man, was it good.
You're not
Wait.
gross at all.
Wait. That's not what you were talking about, was
That's
it?
not what I was talking about. Please
I'm
don't litter. Please,
Just
for
too
goodness sake,
much.
stop it with the littering.
Yeah. Oh my God. Don't even get me started on that.
We've got a great show for you and the person still sleeping next to you. So give a little elbow and say, "Hey, Greg and Tom are making noise on the podcast thingy again," and you want to pay attention to this. We're going to be chatting with the folks hosting our In Crowd 815 networking group this month. The last Thursday of August, we're going to be at Marcus Smith State Farm and Fresh Prince of Loves Park. What is that? You'll find out on today's show. And before we get to them, we're talking all things One Body Collaboratives and Bridges to Prosperity with our friend Mary Cassiope. But before we get to that, we need to do this. We got a big number of the week for you this week. Our current race to 10 has Joanne commanding. She can't even look back and see Tom. She's so far ahead. It's 6-1 in our current race to 10.
Can you pour a little more salt in my wound? It doesn't hurt enough yet.
I'll figure something out. Our big number of the week this week, it's a big one. It's 24.1 million. And the answer is rates or rails. RATES, rates, or RAILS, rails. We would love to know your guess in the chat. Tell us what you think the answer is. And if you really, really, really feel inspired, write a little story about why you think the big number has to do with the word you selected. That'd be fun. I'm waiting for someone to take me up on this offer, to be a little creative in the morning and write a little goofy story. So Tom will send me his answer. Joanne will give me hers before the end of the show, and we'll reveal where the big number came from this week. This, by the way, you already know this, but just to highlight, 815 Day is this week. Are you ready for 815 Day this year, Tom? Are you all set?
Oh, August 15th. That's right.
August 15th.
Yeah, I am. Am I ready? I don't know. I've got In Crowd 815 on my wall there.
You do, right over there.
There it is. There it is.
Oh, and if you won't get these in time. I'm just going to be completely honest. You won't get these in time, but I'm gonna highlight this real quick, like that. We now have 815 merch. That's right. The new In Crowd 815 merch site is up, and you will see things like these t-shirts, like I got one on right now, and hoodies and polos and hats. It's all up there on the new merch site. Look at that stuff. Thanks to Fresh Prince of Loves Park. I really like this hat. I'm really very happy with this hat, which I believe is it's the 940 hat, but what's it called on the website? I think it's called the In Crowd 815 cap. Right? I think that's the one. So anyway, we're going to put the link right now, real quick, like in the chat, so you can see it right there. And if you want to peruse it, that would be wonderful. And in advance, thank you for your support of the In Crowd 815. Our first guest this week, we're going to learn all about her. I forget. I think she grew up in the Northern Illinois area, but I can't remember 100% for sure. So Mary Cassiope has been plugged into the Rockford area for a long, long time. And these last few years has been very, very active in something called One Body Collaboratives, which is now doing business as Bridges to Prosperity, Northern Illinois. And she joins us now from, I believe, her home office in Rockford. Good morning to you, Mary.
Good morning.
How are you this fine day?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good, good. Are you in the home office today? Or are you somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm home office. Yep.
Okay.
I'm in my home office too.
We have fun home offices.
My Packer den.
Yes. And yes, I was born and raised in Rockford, so I've been here my entire life.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about yourself before we get into what you do in your organization. Tell us about where you grew up and went to school, and maybe a little career arc synopsis of how you found yourself doing what you're doing today.
Yeah. So I guess technically I was born in Elgin, Illinois. So I was actually adopted through Catholic Charities. And I was delivered to Holy Family Church when I was just a couple weeks old to meet my parents and my siblings. So I have been literally a lifelong member of Holy Family Church. Went to Holy Family School, of course, and then Boylan. Also went to Rock Valley, and then finished up my degree at Madison University in business administration. So started my professional career actually working for the Rockford Chamber of Commerce. And that goes back probably at least 20, 22 years ago. Left the Rockford Chamber to actually be an executive director of the Roscoe Chamber up in Roscoe, Illinois. Left the chamber to go work for the village of Roscoe and was their director of economic development for the village. Did a little bit of work in commercial development, and then found myself at the Rockford Area Economic Development Council, where I worked as the director of investor relations. So got to be involved in just a lot of really great, interesting community projects that launched at that time between, gosh, that would have been like 2008 to 2013 or so. And then the last 8 years I've spent in this poverty reduction space. So it's been really interesting to see how my background in community and economic development is playing a huge role in the work that I'm doing as it relates to poverty reduction now. That's
a crazy interesting career arc.
Yes.
It's a very interesting career arc. And the fact that I think that the fact that you've been an integral part of the chambers of commerces that you've been involved in economic development. So you've seen with your own eyes, and you've worked with your own hands and intellect some of the solutions to the things you're working on today, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you look at the poverty situation that we have in Northern Illinois, it's everywhere. It's not just Northern Illinois. For those who maybe think, let's face it, anyone who spends any time on social media, as soon as anyone posts anything about Rockford, someone's got to throw some bad comment of 2 cents worth of how awful they think Rockford is for one reason or another. Right. I have to often remind myself and my adult kids and such, you know what they're doing. They're just, people are people. Some are hard luck people, and they just can't help but try to drag you down with them. Right. So let's not completely discount their comments, but let's at least muffle them for a moment. And we have a lot of great positive things in Rockford, including a very, very generous community. One of the things I am very, very proud of being a Rockfordian is how generous our community is. And I think the work you're doing, and here's the reason why I'm bringing this whole thing around. I think the work that you're doing is one of those pinpoints of light that says, see, we do want to solve these problems. We know that they're there. Right. The issues are there. We want to solve them the best way we know how. And that's kind of the point of what you're doing, correct? Am I focusing that correctly?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you hit it right on the head in terms of our community being so generous. We are 100% funded by individual donors, by churches that support the work that we're doing, by businesses in our community, and also through grant funds. And the majority of those grant funds are local funds that we receive. So we haven't yet tapped into any of, the public funding, federal funding, that sort of thing. So the work that we've been doing is through the generosity of our community that we've been able to do this.
So without going into a complete deep dive, we're not going to go into the deep dive of the work that you do, because you hold meetings to go into deep dive stuff.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about, I guess, the generic situation that we find ourselves in the Rockford region when it comes to the poverty situation.
Yeah. So currently in the city of Rockford itself, our poverty rate is 14.6% for adults. And that is just a little bit higher than the national average and the state average. I think the concerning statistic that we're really focused on is that children in the Rockford community, ages 0 to 18, 32% of them are in poverty. And when you look at the generational poverty cycle, at least 1 in 3 of those children will remain to be in poverty as they reach adulthood. So, as we think about those children aging and becoming adults, and then what their life circumstances are going to look like at that point. One of the other pieces of information that is really interesting to us is United Way nationally has this great report called ALICE. And ALICE is an acronym that stands for Asset Limited, Income Constrained, and Employed. And so they actually figure out the percentage of households within a county that fall into that ALICE threshold. And so for Winnebago County, it's 27%. So these are working families that don't earn enough to actually afford even a bare bones household budget. So those are just kind of the high level statistics that we look at as we enter into the work that we're doing.
I want to bring up your website here real quick so people can see bridgesnorthernill.com and take a look at some of the stuff that you have available on there. When people take a look at your website and start looking at information, what do you focus on? I guess what would you like them to look for?
Yeah, so 3 areas that we really focus on in the work that we do. The first is the Getting Ahead classes that you're scrolling through right now. So Getting Ahead classes is a 10-week class for individuals that are in generational or situational poverty. We partner with community agencies, nonprofits, and churches to host these classes. And it helps those individuals to learn how to build resources, build life stability, and create plans towards self-sufficiency. So the Getting Ahead curriculum, the way that I describe it is, because I was blessed to be raised in middle class, I understand how to navigate life, because society is built on middle class skill sets and values. But if you're not raised in that environment, or these things are not exposed to you, you don't know what you don't know. And that's exactly what the Getting Ahead curriculum provides for individuals. It helps them understand that finances are just one area of resource that we all have in our life. They do a very in-depth assessment of all 14 areas of resource in their life, and then they choose just 2 areas that they want to improve upon. So we have had really, really great measurable results come out of that program. We've graduated 22 cohorts of individuals, and that's over 150 individuals in our community that have graduated from this class.
You've done this class 22 times.
Yes. And out of those 150 graduates, 42% have had an increase in income, 39% a decrease in debt, 39% have gone on to obtain additional education to further their career goals, and 19% have a decreased need for state or federal benefits. So we just want to continue to host these classes and scale them just exponentially so that we can start graduating thousands of people.
The comment you said yesterday when we were talking, Mary, sorry to interrupt, but the comment you said yesterday, you don't get government funding, but honestly, that 19%, they should be kicking back to you.
Right. And that would just fund the program forever.
That would be awesome. So
yeah, the next piece then is upward mobility. We have so many wonderful agencies and nonprofits and organizations that are working to reduce poverty in some capacity through the programs and resources that they offer. But at the end of the day, we're not moving the needle in terms of poverty reduction. So we hosted a meeting with community leaders where we discussed this and started talking about, well, what is a possible solution? And one of the things that we landed on is that as a community, we do not have a poverty reduction strategy. So our city and our county have comprehensive plans, but there's nothing really specific to those plans in terms of strategies or tactics that are reducing poverty. And so as a community, we're coming together to write this plan for the very first time. It is, as you mentioned, a place where we're having some really, really deep conversations around a lot of different metrics that really truly indicate an individual's ability to achieve upward mobility out of poverty in our community. So that is going to be a 12 to 18 month planning process. And we are hoping to be able to unveil the plan to the public first quarter of next year.
This is the part, Mary, that I think personally, I'm seeing this as a real highlight, spotlight thing of what you're doing, because if anyone who's paying attention can tell that throwing money at the problems doesn't solve the problems.
Right. And many times what we're solving for in our community, unfortunately, is the symptoms and not the root cause.
Right,
And so this really, truly helps us get to root cause and hopefully to systems change and, serving people in poverty in a different way than we had before.
Probably the most glaring stat, as far as I can tell, that this is true is take a look at the dollars spent per student in different school districts. Once you see how much dollars is spent per student in some districts and how they get no positive results, no forward momentum as far as better education, it's like, okay, this is deeper than a money issue. This is a mindset issue. And this is where this upward mobility stuff really comes in.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's huge.
And then the third piece that we really focus on are these poverty reduction workshops. So these workshops are available to community members, to agencies and nonprofits, really anyone that just wants to better understand the complexities of poverty. So on one hand, we have those getting ahead classes for the individuals experiencing poverty, but we also have to educate our entire community on those complexities of poverty. There is actually a continuum of research that shows the causes of poverty, and the choices and behaviors of individuals are just one of those causes of poverty. So when we say, if those people would just get a job, or if they would just make better choices, sometimes they have two choices and neither one of them are really good. So helping really just our community to understand that tyranny of the moment that individuals in poverty many times face, where they're literally just trying to put out the crisis of the day and can't get to, planning ahead for even the next week or the next month.
It's like Maslow's hierarchy, where you've got the physiological needs, which everybody has, but you got the safety and security needs. And I think people fall into that trap, like you just said. And Greg, you stole my thunder. I had written down changing mindsets, because that's exactly what it is, changing mindsets. And then once you do that, then it gives people a little bit of empowerment, and it gives them a little confidence to be able to say, you know what, I can do this. Otherwise, that fear factor is enormous.
Absolutely.
It's too much for a lot of people, especially if you've grown up, and you said you grew up in middle class. That's great. That's where everybody should be, or higher. I grew up, I want to say, kind of for the first 10 or 15 years, we were in the lower middle class, maybe even touching poverty for a while. Mom and dad worked very hard, but they didn't make a lot of money. So I understand what it's like to really, really, truly want something and not be able to get it. All of our needs were satisfied. We had 3 meals a day, school clothes and all of that. But it's a real tough mindset to get out of when you've known that for 10, 12, 15, 20 years. And the changing mindset thing is huge. That is exactly what it's all about.
And, a part of that too, that changing mindset touches something on that, Greg mentioned earlier, in terms of people in Rockford sometimes having a very negative look on our community. So at a national level, I am a consultant with an organization called the AHA Process, which is located in Texas. And it is a national organization that helps communities around poverty reduction. So with my background in economic development and now this work in poverty reduction, I have actually created a workshop that is now available at the national level titled Poverty Reduction as an Economic Development Strategy. So through my national role, I'm going out to communities across the nation and providing this workshop. And what I'm finding is that we are very much all in the same boat. There are obviously assets that some communities have versus others. But at the end of the day, we're all struggling with the poverty issue. I'm actually also in the process of writing a book on the same topic that's going to be published this fall. So really excited about just kind of seeing how the last, 28 years of my life has culminated into this great work that I get to do, not just locally, but nationally also.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, if someone wants to help you, there's a donate button on your website.
Yep.
Where does this money go to if someone decides to donate to your cause?
It goes directly to the work that we do. So it really helps with our Getting Ahead classes. The participants in those classes earn $25 per class that they attend. And the expectation is that they will attend all 10 classes. So they earn $250 by taking the class. So a lot of the funding that we receive goes directly back to families in our community that are taking these classes to learn how to build those resources and life stability.
Nice. Good
Mary,
deal.
when your book comes out, please come back with us. And
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to.
yeah.
Good deal. Well, is there anything we did not ask you about before we transition into our next segment here that you wanted to make sure we touched on this morning?
I mean, we covered a lot. I think we hit on everything.
You took me literally, and I appreciate that. Tom, go ahead.
Well, before we go, okay, in the pregame warm-up, Mary, you and I were talking about the Packer game that you and I were both at.
Yes.
And the one where Aaron Rodgers broke his shoulder. And Greg, you said you thought maybe Brett Hundley. No, it was Seneca Wallace that came in that game. And we just absolutely stunk in the second half. And do you remember, Mary, what happened at the beginning of the third quarter? Aaron Rodgers comes walking out. He had the arm sling thing on, and the place went nuts. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yes. And he came out, and everybody thought, I'm turning to my wife, I'm like, I think he's coming back in. I think he's coming back in.
He was done.
No. But anyway, I just wanted to share that. So.
All right. We had Marcus in a moment ago, and now he's gone. So Marcus, wherever you went, it's time to come back on here, buddy, because it's time for trivia. Where'd you go?
Yeah, Marcus, you are going to miss out on the fun on the
Let me
trivia.
see if, no, he hasn't messaged me back. I don't know where he was. There on my screen for just a second, and then disappeared. So maybe he had an insurance fire to put out. I don't know. So. While we're waiting for Marcus to rejoin us, I guess let's go ahead and do our trivia with Tom. We'll see how well we do today.
All right, are you ready, Mary?
I mean, don't know that I've had enough caffeine yet, but we'll see.
Okay, so keep in mind, I tell everybody that plays trivia for the first time, do not walk away kicking the dirt going, God, I must be stupid. You could get them all wrong, and it has nothing to do with intelligence. It just has to do with whether it's right here or not, whether you remembered it, I always try and pick very, very generic questions. And some of these are questions you're just simply not going to know.
All right.
So don't feel bad if you don't get any of them. All right. All right. I am going to, okay, you know what I'm going to do? Give me 10 seconds. I'm going to pick questions that I think you would have a fair shake at.
Okay. You reset your questions. I'll take a look at my notes. But again, reminder, 815 Day is this Thursday. Mm-hmm. And as much as I would love you to have you order some InCrowd 815 merch from our new merch website, you won't get it in time for 815 Day. But please feel free to order some merch and support the podcast and the networking group. That would be a wonderful thing. And our event coming up October 17th, we are pretty much halfway to being filled up with our 10 teams. And for those who've been following along, we just released here at the beginning of the month the information about our October 17th first ever masked karaoke trivia contest, which will be in support of Rockford area not-for-profits. 10 of them can participate in this event, and all 10, if they do this right, and I'll coach you, if you do this right, you will make money just by participating. You don't even have to win the $1,000 grand prize to be satisfied with the results. If you win the $1,000 grand prize, I'm sure you'll be extra satisfied with the results.
All right, I've
Come and
amended my
participate.
list.
Check the website. We got the information out there now.
I've amended my list. I've given you questions I think that you might have a shot at. One of them's a 50-50, so
All right.
one or the other. So if you pick one and she picks the other, then one of you gets it right. All right, here we go. Question number 1. What does the D in actor Billy D. Williams' name stand for? It's not D as in DEE, because that's what it shows you. So that's not what it is.
There's our Marcus. All right, Marcus, you got in just in time for trivia, buddy.
All right.
I'm early.
You're
All right.
What does the D stand for in Billy D. Williams?
Well, let me start over so Marcus has a fair shake at it. We'll just do them all now.
All right.
You want to just do them all now, or you want me to do 3 and then save 3 for later?
Let's do them all now.
All right, we're going to do them all now. Middle names. What does the D in actor Billy D. Williams stand for? It's not DEE, which is what it shows you. That's not what it is. I'm going to give you 2 options. Is it Daniel or is it December?
Wow.
Once again, what does the D in actor Billy D. Williams' name stand for? Is it Daniel or is it December?
I got to say December. No,
Anybody else?
It's too unique not to go with, right?
I was just going to say either you're just trying to completely throw us, or it's that unique. So I'm going to go with December.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is December. He's William December Williams, the 2nd or 3rd.
Wow.
Who knew? Wow.
All
right. You guys are all 1 for 1. Yes. Way to go. Way to go. All right. Here we go. For the community minded among us. We all are very community minded. So here you go. Which came first? These 2 children's-based organizations both serve to enable young people to reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. They are the Boys and Girls Clubs of America and the Boy Scouts of America. Which organization came first?
Ooh.
Oh.
Once again, 2 children's-based organizations serving the community, reaching their full potential. Boys and Girls Clubs of America and Boy Scouts of America. Which one came first?
Boy Scouts
chicken and egg question.
Long time, but I think it's Boys and Girls Club. I do.
Anybody else?
I don't want to speak for anyone. I think it's Boy Scouts.
I'm going to go with Boy Scouts.
I was leading Boy Scouts as well. I think they've been around a little bit longer as an organization, but
well, the Boy Scouts started 1910. Okay. Boys and Girls Clubs of America, 1860 in Hartford, Connecticut. Way to go, Marcus. Look at this.
I knew the Boy Scouts history, but I knew Boys and Girls has been around a long time.
It's like the backup quarterback comes in and throws a touchdown pass.
And he's Canadian. Wow. I don't know if I feel about that.
Yeah, okay. CFL, baby. CFL. All right.
Canadians work their best with coffee.
There you go. There you go. A. Coffee. A. All right, here we go. Who was the first American in space? Was it Gus Grissom or Alan Shepard? This is one of those that you either know it or you don't, but it's a 50-50. So once again, who was the first American in space? Was it Gus Grissom or was it Alan Shepard?
I'm going to go with Gus because Alan seems like what people would think, but maybe Gus is the outlier. I don't know.
I got to be different here. I think it's Shepard.
I think it's Alan Shepard too, and I think he was up there like 6 or 7 times. He went a bunch of times.
Alan Shepard.
Oh.
Alan Shepard.
No, Mary, I love your logic though, because that's a lot of times what trivia is all about. Right. It's like that seems too obvious. This is why you guys went with December, because it made sense, right? It actually made no sense, which meant it made sense. All right.
So is Gus even an astronaut?
Yes.
Yeah, they both were. Yep.
Yes.
They both were.
He was in an Apollo flight. I just don't remember which one.
All right.
Yeah, I think he was in. I'm not sure. I don't want to say. All right, here we go. What is the capital of South Carolina?
Oh,
Capital of South Carolina.
This is a difficult one. I'll tell you that. This is a difficult one.
can I call a friend?
Yeah, no, you cannot.
We get
Nice
options.
try,
I
though.
should know this. I have a business presentation that I'm giving in Florence, South Carolina, coming up in a couple of weeks. So I'll learn something I can share with them.
I was
Well-
never one to commit to memory all the capitals of the states. So I'm just trying. Columbia. That's my guess.
Columbia is
I don't even know if that's in South
Charlotte?
Carolina. Charlotte's North Carolina.
Charlotte North.
I'm
Okay.
pretty
Yeah,
sure
it is.
Charlotte's.
It's the biggest city in North Carolina, as a matter of fact. 894,000. I know that because last week we had a question about Charlotte. Mary, you're up. What do you say?
I got nothing. All of the cities that come to mind, I know are not the capital.
Well, upper left-hand corner, Greg, Columbia. That is the
There you go.
answer.
Whoa.
Wow, that was good. That was good.
That was
All right, here we go.
a
Here we
good
go.
guess.
Here we go. We've got 3 left, and I do have a bonus question, but
Ooh,
we'll either
all
get
right.
to it or we won't. All right, Olympic medals. Throughout Simone Biles' Olympic career, encompassing Rio, Tokyo, and now Paris, she has won a total of 11 medals. How many of them are gold?
Ooh.
I can give you
Hmm.
options if you want them.
It's 8 or 9. I'm gonna go with 8.
So you don't
I
want
was
your
going to
options?
ask for the options, but okay.
Oh, I can give you options. And then, Greg, you can amend your answer if, in fact, it was wrong. No, you know what? I can't give you options now because Greg's already guessed and
It's 8 or
it's
9.
not correct. So if I gave you the options,
Oh, it
then
is
what
9.
would happen is you'd know. So
I'm feeling that 8 or 9 is close. I agree. I'm going 9 because Greg went 8. I got to beat, but I don't. This is
all right, Mary, use that logic here.
I'm going to go with 8 as well.
Oh, 7 is the answer.
Oh,
7 gold, 2 bronze, 2 silver, and 2 bronze.
Bummer.
That's
All
right. Okay, now this one here, you're might have to get your pens out. In the word Massachusetts, how many S's are there? Is it 3 or is it 4?
Why is this so hard?
It's not hard. It's not hard.
It's 4.
Massachusetts.
Why is it hard?
4.
All right, Marcus, you got 4. What about Mary? What do you
I'm
think?
going 4 as well.
Gregors, what are you going?
4.
4 is correct.
God.
Massachussetts.
And I'm a
All right.
horrible speller, so I'm going on record.
All right. That's okay. That's all right. That's one of those words where if you sound it out, if you don't get that there's 2 S's in the beginning, but the short vowel, the short A sound, the 2 double consonants give a short A sound. So Massachusetts. Anyway. All right. Final question before we get to the bonus if we want it.
All right.
In 1972, Rockford sent Janet Lynn to the Winter Olympics in this country. Where were the 72 Olympics held?
Ooh.
I know the 88, 72.
72.
88 was it Calgary?
No.
Alberta?
No.
It was
88,
Canada, right?
88 Olympics, I believe, was Athens.
Oh,
It's a
No.
European
Brazil was,
country.
Brazil was
These are
before
winter.
that.
Athens,
What?
I think was summer, wasn't it?
See,
These
now
are
you-
winter.
Yeah, no, I know. That might be true.
It's a European country. I just can't remember if it was like Sweden. It was at Stockholm or who hosted a winter. I'm going to say Norway.
Lillehammer did it in 94, I believe.
Yeah. I'm going Switzerland.
I'm going to give you a hint. It was an Asian country.
Really?
Oh no! All right,
yeah.
that eliminates me. I was wrong.
We get to guess again then. Okay.
Sure.
Go for it, Greg.
Guess again. There's no prize value here. There's no money going on.
An
What?
Asian
We're not
country that
looking for
hosted the
prize?
Winter Olympics.
Yeah, that's what I'm struggling with.
I have no clue.
China.
All right. Anybody else?
Got the only winter mountains.
Do they have winter in Tokyo?
China.
You're in the right country there, Gregors, but it's not
Oh.
Tokyo.
Nagano? What's
Nagano? Nope,
Nagano?
not Nagano. They've
All
also done them.
So Japan hosted a Winter Olympics. I just don't know what the city was.
Sapporo,
Japan.
Sapporo, Japan. All right. Bonus question
All
for
right.
all the money. You
Bail
guys
us
are all
out.
tied at 3, I guess. The winner of this one wins it all. You win the brand new car.
All right.
Wash.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. Bonus question. Last Tuesday night, the Chicago White Sox ended the longest drought in their storied history at 21 games by beating this team 5-1. So my question is, which team in Major League Baseball sucks worse than the Chicago White Sox? I'm a Cub fan. Can you tell?
The biggest audience reaction I got last night emceeing for the Ski Bronx was cracking a joke about how bad the White Sox were. They all groaned. It was sad.
Really?
It was the Ski Bronx was putting a human pyramid up on the water. And what they ended up with was a 2 high and a 3 high. So it said, ladies and gentlemen, a 2 and a 3, and even the White Sox can score when they hit a 2 and 3. You know, and it was everyone like, oh, like, well, you're right. The White Sox could find a way not to score by hitting a double and a triple.
Well, the Cubs were winning 7-0 last night, and then I tuned in after we went to the Boone County Fair. Anyway, we came back, and I'm listening on the radio, and it's 7-6 in the bottom of the ninth. I'm like, oh my God, worst team in the history of baseball, and you can't hold a 7-0 lead. Anyway, does anybody know the
I grew
team?
up in a country that only has one Major League Baseball team left, I believe. So
yeah, the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
And then you had the Montreal Expos.
At least they're good.
They've been gone now for about 8 years, 7 years.
Oh God, no, about 20 years at least.
Okay.
They've been the Washington Nationals now for probably 12 or 14, and they were just done for a few years. Nobody. So yeah, it's been a while. And time gets away. All right, the team is the Oakland Athletics, or should I say the Oakland Pathetics?
They're bad too.
There you go. That's trivia. So nobody wins the brand new Viper. Nobody wins this car today.
Well, Mary, we appreciate you
drive it around myself all week.
All the great information. Get yourself a car wash and send Tom the bill.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity to be on the show and share information.
You were awesome. And please come back when your book is ready to rock and roll, because you're doing really, really good work there. That is awesome. So
thank you.
Thanks, Mary. Have a great weekend.
You too.
There goes Mary Katsiopi with Bridges to Prosperity, Northern Illinois. And I throw up on the screen the event page for what Marcus is doing at the end of August. The August 2024 In-Crowd 815 networking event is going to be at your house. Well, not your house, but your office. That feels like a house most days because you're there so
I'm there
often.
more than my house. So,
so before we get into all things In-Crowd networking group, tell us a little bit about Marcus Smith. Where'd you grow up? Where'd you go to school? We're looking for all that kind of information, that the mini career arc that led you to where you started a State Farm Insurance agency.
Okay. Wow. I'll try and keep it short. I don't want to bore anyone. It's not as exciting as you may think. Grew up in Canada. Grew up playing hockey. Lots of it when I was young.
Lots of hockey.
Oh, yeah. We used to make our own rinks. We would just take a hose, spray it outside within some wood, and actually skate on it because it would freeze right away. It was that cold. Minus 40 often. Yeah. So you know how you talk about walking to school 2 miles uphill? We walked to school 2 miles every day, and I even came home for lunch sometimes. But it was flat. It's just flat.
Oh,
so
nice.
flat. You watch your dog run away from home for 3 days. So grew up there, moved to the city when I could, as soon as I could, small town where I was living. Went to school, became an engineer, electrical. So I ended up starting working. I started working for GE quite many years back on locomotives. So I was supervised locomotive repair, loved it. got a chance to ride on trains in places that people just don't go, and got to work with them for years. GE brought me over to the States back in 2002. I've been here ever since. I'm a citizen here now, and I'm loving it here. But then I worked for GE Aviation for many years, GE Systems, got into a lot of manufacturing, leading a manufacturing, really enjoyed it. Went and came to Rockford back in 2011, worked for Woodward. Great company, great people, really enjoyed the people here, and had a chance to continue doing manufacturing. And I did that. Final year, I finished a year out with Amazon, a little different, and then I retired. I am, why I started with State Farm is because back in 2007, I was a cancer survivor. I got cancer twice. Was not a good outlook. And what I realized is I didn't have the right life insurance. My life insurance through work did not cover that cancer, and found out I had nothing. And my outlook was real bleak at the time. And so that really kind of scared me. Changed a lot of what my future is like, why I retired early, to decide to spend more family time and to do what I love to do, and that's helping others. And State Farm just came along at the right time, and it was just the perfect fit. So I started doing this, been doing it for over 5 years, and I love it. Absolutely love it. I love working with people. I love doing the best I can to help people. So that is kind of why I'm here and why I do what I do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's stories like that. That's like, okay, some people work because they need to make money. Some people work because they found a passion for something that they love and enjoy and want to spend time doing. And then there's the next layer, the story of, like you just went through, surviving cancer and finding out that, wow, I wouldn't have been covered, and that would have been a terrible, terrible thing.
Yeah.
For my family. So for the last 5 years, you've done quite a bit to your office there. It looked a lot differently than when you first bought it.
It looked like an old Western building.
It did.
People actually come by and tell me all the history of all the business has been there. So it's got a lot of history, and it's actually interesting. People used to shop there. Someone used to go to the dentist there. I think it was dentist or a doctor. So that brought trauma back for them when they came to visit. But it had a lot of history. Yeah, we did kind of upgrade it and did the whole front end very different. It was all wood. So I really enjoyed doing that. And I just love how it looks now. It's kind of our place. And we want to keep that history of that building going because it's just great history in the area. So we wanted to make sure we kept that building strong.
I think I didn't even register in my brain when I first visited you over at your office what it used to look like. I had to be reminded of it with some pictures just in the last few weeks, seeing some pictures of what it used to look like. I was, oh, that's right. That used to be, it looked like you could hitch up your horse before walking in to visit with Marcus.
It was a
swinging doors.
Almost. Actually, I went to my staff and I said, guys, we got a choice here. We can either fix up the whole front and make it look different, or put 2 rocking chairs out and make it look like that restaurant. What's the restaurant? It's right by 90 there on State. Yeah. Cracker Barrel.
Like the Cracker Barrel.
They voted for fixing it up. So we wanted options.
Cracker Barrel or Machine Shed, either one of those two works. But yeah, Cracker Barrel, the one with the
rocking chairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get to host our in-crowd event here coming up at the end of August, and we've got our friends, your neighbors there, the Fresh Prince of Lowe's Park, which used to be called Right on Time Design, I believe. They've done a fresh rebrand of their business this year, just like our in-crowd 815 did, and then you share a parking lot there, and your office right there on North 2nd. Which is you got a beautiful mural on your building. It's a nice thing to look at now, Marcus.
Thank you. The only State Farm office that actually has that board on the side there, it's the only one that was able to get approved. Took me a while to get that approved. So,
Very
but
sharp.
yeah, I love it. I love it. I love that we had some color, because color matters. Like, just need to. And then next door on the other building, we have the mural, which is the Loves Park mural, to kind of support the area. So it's been fun. We've been able to do a lot there. So really enjoying it.
And that is, oh gosh, what is that corner street?
That's Grand.
Grand. Okay. So Grand, the corner of Grand Avenue and North 2nd Street in Loves Park.
Yeah. Marcus, I got to ask, have you ever met Jake from State Farm?
I did once, yes. I
Did
didn't get
you?
a chance to get a picture with him, but when we went to the State Farm event, I got to meet him. He's actually a really nice guy.
Oh, he seems like a really cool guy. A kind of guy you'd want to watch a ball game with or just sit and chit chat with. He's cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I haven't been invited yet, but I'm hoping. I'm going to get invited. I'm sure he gets the good seats when he goes.
Oh, I'm sure he does. Yeah, absolutely. That is my buddy Marcus. Just give him whatever he wants. So, are you a big CFL fan, or not a football fan at all, or have you adopted like the NFL? What is your take on that?
I'm worried I'm going to get in trouble for this. So when we moved to the States, we lived in Erie, Pennsylvania. We did quite a few moves. And so you had a choice between the Browns and the Steelers. Mm-hmm. And I was close to both. The problem was that the Browns tickets were a lot more expensive. And so I went to go see a bunch of Steelers games because it was more affordable. Believe it or not, they got.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, $250 to get a good ticket there. So Steelers were half that. So I went to see a lot of Steeler games, and I just kind of loved the Steelers. So I've been a Steeler fan ever since. I'm not a good follower of sports, but that is so I'm a terrible fan in all retrospect, but I work too much. But Steelers would probably be my team.
I don't know if you could tell who I root for, but it's kind of a secret. Yeah. Kind of a little secret as to who I root for. So I don't know. There you go.
The Steelers had the Steelers
go ahead.
beat the Packers in the Super Bowl, I would have a different opinion of them, but I don't have any hatred toward the Steelers. I kind of.
I love Big Ben. I love Mike Tomlin. What a great coach, But you're right.
The Steelers lost that game. I didn't even argue it. They didn't earn it. You got to earn it. So no, that was a good loss. But we're coming back.
Well, you got Justin Fields and you got Russell Wilson. Yeah. I mean, you got two quality quarterbacks. Russell Wilson probably the better of the two because he's got the mind part down. Yeah. But I think Justin Fields has the physical part down. So, it could be a good 1-2 punch. Sorry, Greg, I didn't mean to get it off on a football tangent.
Oh, no. That's.
I grew up around the Blue Bombers, and a lot of people probably don't know who they are.
Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
You bet.
I know all my CFL teams. I used to watch it all the time because I'm a football junkie. And the CFL plays earlier than, because Canada is like 8,000 degrees below zero from September on. So they play it earlier. And then the Grey Cup is usually, I want to say November. Is that right? Yeah. Anyway.
I can't remember when.
But I've watched a number of Grey Cups. It's been a while since I've, now with 24/7 NFL Network, I'm just immersed in NFL football. But
they don't give up much territory to the CFL anymore now that they're on all the time. So August 29th, when we come out and hang out at your office, what can people expect for the? It's 5:30 to 7:30. Our monthly In-Crowd 815 networking group event, which we go to different places, different places of business each time. And Marcus is hosting here this month. When we come and hang out with you that day, what can we expect that night?
Well, you're a great welcome, of course. You're going to get to see what we did to the building. You're going to get to see the new building for sure. Check it out. We got one last thing to do is the parking lot. It just won't probably get done before we come out. You come out. But the best coffee ever. If you see my caricature, it's got that coffee on purpose. I'm a coffee nut. I love my coffee, and it's got to be the best coffee. We use fire department coffee, which is local too, supports the fire department. and then actually just a great time showing you kind of what we do and how we help people, how we really try and engage with our customers and with everyone around us. Support local, all those things, because it matters. This is our community. This is where we are. So we need to support it and be there. Part of why we fixed up the building, part of why we fixed up the building next door, and why we're really trying to be engaged. I am on the Parks Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, to again be part of what the community and how we can help make it better. And then, of course, we've really been focusing on just telling people that we're not just about auto and fire. We do so much more. We do pet insurance. We do life insurance. And that, again, the life insurance is why I even joined in the first place. And we do a lot of health products. So like Aflac does, that we do a lot of the same stuff. And so we want people to know that we can do so much more for them than just, talk to them about their auto insurance. So really want to engage with people and just show how we can be a better part of supporting their everyday life.
And that's a good point. That, a lot of people, you think of someone like State Farm and you immediately go to auto insurance. That's pretty much, most of the commercials seem to focus on that sort of stuff, but there's so much more to it. And especially when you're in the parks, if you live in the parks, you may or may not need to be talking about some flood insurance options too, and stuff like that. And, we've all experienced that here in the last couple of months, haven't we?
Oh yeah. And that's very different insurance. People don't realize. So it's not everyone's covered for it. It's separate. And we have our dog, Lucy. She's actually covered under our pet insurance. So I might even get her a shirt to say that from our neighbor, Fresh Prince, to do a dog shirt that says that she's covered in our pet insurance. So we try and do as much to help the community as possible. But it really is about that relationship and that engagement with our customer to help them in there every day to make sure they're covered so they don't have to worry about it. So
Absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to having people come out and meet you and your staff, and meet Mike and Julie next door at Fresh Prince of Loves Park, and see their dynamic store too next door. They've got a lot going on with their shirts and hoodies and cups and mugs and all the things that they put together. They do things most people don't even think about. Last night they were doing the shirts for the Davis Park, the movie at Davis Park.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So they got a lot going on next door there too. So come on out and join us.
They do our shirts too. So we're happy that they're our neighbors. We love having them there.
Thursday night, August 29th, 5:30 to 7:30. Absolutely free. We ask you to bring a smile and a business card. That's really what we're asking for when you come out to these events. We drop a business card in the bowl. We'll give you a chance to win a door prize or 2 or 5, or who knows how many door prizes we'll have that night. But give you a chance to meet some folks maybe you haven't met before, mix and mingle, and hopefully the weather will be as nice as it's been his last couple of nights, so we can have it all outdoors. That would be really special. Unfortunately, we can't order that up. And
I put in a request, so we're going to see.
The request is in. But So anything else we want to touch on this morning, Marcus, before we let you go and attack your weekend?
No, we're going to take one of your evenings away. We're going to make sure it's worthwhile. So we're going to have some fun there. We're going to definitely engage. We're going to have a chance to kind of check it out, the area. But we are looking forward to having you. We would love to have you there. Just come and visit. Like I said, see what we've done. Evening coffee is not a bad thing. It's okay. It's actually what I recommend before you go to bed. Have a good coffee. So, but come and check us out, and make sure you come and say hi.
All right. Good deal. Well, looking forward to it. August 29th at Marcus Smith State Farm, Loves Park. Appreciate you coming on, and we'll see you then.
Okay. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. There he goes, Marcus Smith from State Farm Insurance. And that's going to be the place right on the corner there, Grand and North 2nd, where the InCrowd 815 networking group, the August meeting takes place in Loves Park. Joanne is over at Paws Humane Society this morning. And are you sipping coffee? What you up to today, Joanne?
Nothing. Waiting for you to talk to me.
Wow.
She's back and she's online. And last week you couldn't get online at all, which actually kind of worked out in our positive, Joanne. I got to be honest.
My internet was down.
There was some weird things going on with the internets last week, and
I brought my own trophy though.
Nice. Yeah, but you know what? It's not as good as my where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Fluffy, my foster dog, chewed the hands. Fluffy,
It's
Well,
not
that
as
makes
good
it
as my
special.
Viper.
Fluffy, who was adopted last Sunday, left lots of marks on my life. So
Memories.
yeah,
That's what it is. It's all
she
about the memories.
always remember. So she chewed up the hands of my statue or my
Oh.
trophy. My trophy is from a bowling. It's
From bowling.
really
Does it have a year on it?
the people were so mean at the bowling alley. I said, I said a naughty word. But one of my friends could not get over it. I said, you guys are so mean because we were the lowest, we had the highest handicap. So the better teams had trouble winning over us. And they got so mean. And I said, you're doing all of this for a effing trophy. And so this is my trophy from the bowling. She had to get that from me because she thought it was supposed to be a fun league, but it wasn't.
That's right. That's right. It's supposed to be about fun, having fun, and just mix and mingling.
Trophy.
Some people take it too seriously. Some people just
Yeah.
take competition too seriously.
Well, that's what happens in trivia every night. We got people that are kind of competing with one another, and I'm like, guys, we're not. No one's dying here for crying out loud. Settle down.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And did you mention the Boone County Fair, which is so exciting?
Yeah, I was there last night. Dropped a couple hundred.
The consensus about the Boone County Fair is that it is not cheap, and it never has been. But yeah, this year with inflation, prices have definitely gone up for pretty much everything. So be prepared. It's a good time. It's still a great time, but it's not.
The food
it's
is
not
great.
cheap
The corn is good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
It's more expensive than it should be. Let's leave it at that because they don't really. To me, it's price gouging. But again, it's fun.
Okay,
and if you
I
go,
just this, why do you have to pay $10 to get in?
Yeah, exactly.
$10 to spend money. We have to. It's kind of like going to a craft show or something.
Because here's the thing: you're not going in just to walk around. You're going in there to eat. You're going in there to buy stuff. You're going in there. If you got kids, you're going in there to ride the rides, which are
I think the
overpriced
kids are
as well.
10 and under is free to get.
They are. 10 and under is free. But that's because you're going to drop $80 just on tickets for rides. Because each ride is 4 tickets, which is $4 because each ticket's $1. So $8 for 2 kids to ride a ride that just, a little whirligig thing that goes around 5 or 7 times. Yeah, it is. It's that way because people keep paying.
We didn't allow my granddaughter to ride any rides because they have what is it called? A season ticket to the Six Flags. So she said we already go on rides, so we couldn't go on any. So she wasn't having any fun. She said, but she.
Oh no! Here, people watching and eating fair food.
Look at any animals because that isn't what she likes to do. But
yeah,
and that's one of the things that one of my shout outs for this week is Wisconsin State Fair. We always go to the Wisconsin State Fair once a year, and you pay to get in there to do what? Well, at least there you've got a lot of free music stages, and there's the barns with the animals and stuff to see. It's really cool to see all the different things that they put on display there, and then of course the huge expo center, which if it is a hot day, you got a nice air conditioned expo center to walk around in. But the day we went this year was cool enough that we stayed even longer than we normally do. We stayed quite a bit. Pretty much through the entire daylight of the day before the storm hit in Wisconsin that day. But you get to the fair, you get to the Boone County Fair, you get to one of the Winnebago County Fair, which I believe is next week. There's Yeah,
I'm waiting for the Elkhorn one, the Walworth County
the
Fair.
big Walworth County Fair is also an
Oh, that's such
excellent
a great
fair.
fair. But again, very expensive. Very expensive.
Yeah, you go knowing you're going to drop a couple $100 to do stuff.
Yeah.
So
And you can't not, because you're bringing, my grandsons are now 9 and 7, and they have the time of their lives. They don't know what mom and dad have or what grandma and grandpa have. They don't care. And money is inconsequential to them. They don't
don't even know what
understand
it
it.
is.
So I'm not going to tell them, well, we just can't afford it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
You do what you can. You do what you can. As far as quick shout outs before we get to all things pause here momentarily, want to give a shout out to the folks up in Shawano, Wisconsin for hosting the Division II ski show championships last weekend. Ski Bronx got into the top 10 this year in Division II. The Division I final nationals championships are actually being held this weekend, and that's being held in Indiana. It was supposed to be in Loves Park, was supposed to be at the Ski Bronx site, but of course, with the river flooding earlier this year, they couldn't risk the river not being low enough to host this weekend, so they moved it to Indiana. It's pretty sad because it would have been a great weekend for it this weekend weather-wise.
Yeah.
But who knew? You couldn't plan that. So kudos to the Shawano Ski Sharks and all their folks up there for hosting a great tournament last weekend. Want to also give a shout out to Jennifer Smith from the Community Foundation of Northern Illinois. She spoke to our Growing Together Through Networking group this last Wednesday morning, shared some great information about what they are doing. Congratulations to Rowan and Cameron closing on their house this week. Team sold on Tony, Keller Williams Realty Signature. Houses are still being bought and sold. I know the market's a little bit slower than it's been in the past as far as the number of houses being sold. But that's just because inventory's down. There's still plenty of buyers out there that want to buy. And now that interest rates have slipped down a little bit, maybe we'll start seeing some more sellers enter the market. So congratulations to Rowan and Cameron. Congratulations to Rock House Kids. They had the ribbon cutting of their upgraded facility this week. They have some beautiful upgrades to their facility that has been much needed. So now they can host more kids more often. They do great work over there at Rock House Kids. Starlight Theater wraps up its season today. If you have not yet seen a show at Starlight Theater, this is it. Your last chance. 2:00 this afternoon or 8:00 tonight. Beauty and the Beast. And then it is done. It's a great show. So, and it's been nearly sold out nearly every night. So kudos to the team that put on Beauty and the Beast. Doing a great job. Rockford Linked Lunch. We just had Mary on the show today here. She was our guest speaker yesterday at Rockford Linked Lunch. Thanks to her for coming out and sharing a little more information with our group. And finally, last shout out for me this week is Rockford Rivets playoffs. They're hosting a playoff game tomorrow for the first time in 10 years. We haven't had a minor league baseball playoff game in Rockford for 10 years. And the Rivets play Sunday away and then Monday at home, and if necessary, Tuesday at home. So it's a best of 3 series. And Rockford Rivets get to be the home team. So the first game's away. It'll be in Michigan. I don't know which team they're playing in Michigan. Was it the Pitt Spitters or the Kalamazoo? What's the Kalamazoo mascot? It's not the Kazoos anymore. It's something else. I forget what it is. But anyway, Kalamazoo or Traverse City is the team they'll be playing in the playoffs. So go Rivets.
Yeah.
Go Rivets. Hashtag screws are hot. That's what the hashtag is for the Rockford Rivets. So, all right. All things paused here this morning. We haven't been able to do much of this lately, Joanne, because of technical issues and timing issues and such. How is things?
I think things are fine. You want to do a quick run around?
Absolutely. We're running late this week on purpose. It's okay to go. We're going to go a little bit long with the 2 guests and catching up with Joanne that we haven't done in a while. So
Because I'm trying to turn my camera around so I can do a little.
you got the mirroring part right, but not the camera part right. There it is. There it is. Oh, you
Is August 10th. We're doing better with dogs this month. Last month we only had 1 dog adopted. they've got this, I don't know why they goof it up so much. This is July adoptions. They've got it down as August. They just put my
That was last month. That's right.
finger there.
Oops.
1 dog last month and 36 cats. So this is August now. And Fluffy, the top, we had a little adoption event for the dogs last Saturday. And Fluffy and Pearly May both were seen and later adopted. So that was kind of exciting because we've doubled July already. So that's exciting.
Nice.
So, and then these are our dogs that are available. Let me step back so you can see all of them. A new one is Presley. And he is, his owner died. So, kind of sad. There's Miles, who's been with me for miles and miles of time.
I see what you did there.
Prince Charming and Jan.
Oh.
So these are all our dogs. So, if you're interested in a dog, and then here's our wall of cats. And I know I've been kind of lax in sending Greg a cat of the week. I don't know. We'll have to get back into doing that.
Get back into that habit.
Yeah. I get so excited about other things, I kind of forget to send a picture for him. So, lots of kittens. We don't want to see the kittens grow up at the shelter. Oh. He says, look at me, look at me. We've had this pair before. This is the mom and Gilligan. Lovey and Gilligan. Mom and Gilligan. So, but we've got lots of kittens and still lots of kittens.
Oh my God, that cat's beautiful. They're all beautiful. Look at the coloring on that.
Now this is a group of interesting cats. They look almost wild. I don't know what the but they all have that fur coming out of their ears. I don't know if you can see it, the fluff out of their ears.
Yeah.
Super ear whiskers going on there.
Yeah. Come on, I can't keep you in the I think
Camera shy.
I thought the mother is back there. She looks a little bit bigger. But they're just a different, like a more exotic looking cat than normal.
Yeah.
Someone needs to tell me what they are, but just besides being just cats. There's another group. So, I mean, if you're looking for a cat, we've got them. And then this one with her eyes, I think she has something.
Wow.
I'm going to show you her eyes. Like a, I don't want to
hide.
It's a bonded.
Joanne.
Yes.
Joanne, do you guys ever have statistics on how many people have adopted cats or dogs based on this show? Like, oh, I saw it on your podcast.
No, I don't think so. I think.
Well, even if somebody comes in and
says
it,
when I came on, when I brought a cat back in the day when we had the radio show, they used to say the cat that in would be adopted a week. Yeah. So it's hard to say.
Tom and Joe talk often about how Joe got Max, his dog, because of being on the
Tom
show.
And Joe?
Tom and Joe.
You meant
Tommy
Riley and Joe?
Riley and Joe. That's what. Yeah. There we
Yeah.
go.
Yes, he had looked at a different dog, and that dog didn't quite suit. He has two. What does he have? Huskies?
I
He
believe
had
they're,
Huskies.
yeah, Huskies.
And he looked at a different dog, and we took it to his house. I mean, I did a home visit, and he was looking for a dog for his mother, who was, I'm not sure what she was wheelchair bound at the time.
Yeah, his grandmother. Yeah,
It's his mother,
Max fit the bill.
and she has since passed away. But the dog didn't work. It was too timid for his dogs. And then we had another dog that we took on a home visit, and this dog just fit in so well. I mean, it was just like, this dog is yours. I mean, you can't even question it.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, it's a match that made me smile. And Veda came up in my memories today. Because I fought Veda for a short period of time, but she was really too big for me. But Veda, so I don't know how many years that is. I'd have to go back and look.
11 years.
Yeah, is it that long? Yeah. But
Pretty sure it's been 11 years.
But she came up in my memories today as so that's kind of our tour.
Nicely done. Nicely done. All things pause. Check out the website at pausehs.org. Got the link in the chat for you, so you
And if
can
you,
Nominated
and if you
for
stop in, check out that candy bowl.
yeah,
check
really.
out that candy bowl.
I saw some Reese's in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's lower than usual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have something with a car wash. I'm not quite sure. That's about all that's going on as far as fundraising. I don't quite understand the car wash.
Oh, pause car wash at the Wow Car Wash right over there by the mall.
Buy a car wash and help us.
So you can buy your car wash through Pause.
I never understand how to scan it. You scan the code, and we're also up for What Rocks in Rockford.
That's what I was just going to bring up here. It's voting time for What Rocks in Rockford, and it's time to say, hey.
I tried to vote and I couldn't find it, so they didn't get my vote.
Well, there's your link right there. Please vote daily at rrstar.gannettcontests.com. Blah 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 blah. There's a link right there. In fact, there we go. I can probably copy and paste that and put that in the chat too, so that hopefully is an easier way to go grab
I don't know
that information.
I don't know why our podcast didn't get nominated. What's wrong with you people?
Is there even a podcast category? I didn't see one. I voted, and you know what?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say I don't even know if there was a radio category this year.
Oh,
You know what I'm wondering is why they don't have a trivia host category or just trivia.
There you
Like
go.
best trivia or best trivia host or something like that. Not lobbying for anything, I'm just saying. Because trivia is pretty big around this area.
I think that would be a good addition to their stuff there. Why not? All right. Well, I'm not seeing anything else on there as far as the car wash thing, but obviously you have a flyer right there at Pause today, so people can check that out and buy your car wash at Pause.
well, I'm not going to look right now, but so that's the excitement.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, Veda. Let's do this. I think we have a visitor. Things are getting exciting here at the abode. Our current race to 10 has Joanne way out in front with a score of 6-1. And our big number of the week this week is 24.1 million. The answer is rates or rails. And Tom has given me his guess. So, Joanne, I need your guess. In 3, 2, 1, please go.
Rails.
You're going rails. Tom went rates. So, yeah.
Point today.
Tom went rates. You went rails. One of you's getting a point. America's 30-year mortgage rates. They declined last week to the lowest point since May of 2023. The peak rate was about 7.29%, mark that we pray isn't topped anytime soon. Well, a lot of people are getting rates back under 5 again. So that's the rate story. Yeah, Tom, oh my gosh, Joanne just runs away.
Wow.
Rails is the answer. Amtrak is barreling toward record ridership this year. 24.1 million riders between October and June. That's up 18% year over year, according to the Wall Street Journal. If that stays on track, the company said it should surpass its 2019 ridership high, which was 32.3 million riders. So people are taking the tracks. People are taking the rails again.
That's my bucket list. I want to ride an Amtrak train. That's what I want to do.
What would be more fun, the mountains up into Canada or the Pacific coast?
Oh, I think the Pacific coast, probably. I don't know. Both would be equally fun for different reasons. I would love to do either one of them. I wouldn't turn down either one.
I like both ideas. Well,
yeah.
Anyway, once again, go Rivets, go. Playoff game is Monday night at Rivet Stadium. Hopefully it'll be for a victory to win that first round best of 3 playoffs. If it's not, they'll play again on Tuesday night. So keep an eye on that. And if you get a chance, go out and support. We got a team to get excited about this year again. That's fun. I'm very excited about that. So
we also have a team to get excited about at 3:00 today, 3:25.
The Green Bay Packers start their season with the preseason game today.
Yeah.
Against the Cleveland Browns. We'll see how that goes.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, next week, Kevin Polkey from SOS joins us to talk about all things SOS and what he's doing for suicide awareness here in the Northern Illinois region. Final thoughts, my friends?
I had one, but it slipped out of my mind.
Really?
Yeah. Something important, I'm sure.
Something I'm sure very important. No, my final thought is go Packers, and that's about it. I'm going to sit and watch football for a couple of hours today.
There we go.
Okay. 6 hours. Don't tell the boss. I'll be in trouble. No, I got a lot to do. I've got my office here that you can see is fairly cleaned out now. I had a lot of boxes everywhere, and I'm starting to work through it all. We had to do our bedroom because they're going to come and work on. We got a new roof coming. We got siding coming. They're coming to work on that in the next this week, probably this week. Yeah. So we needed to get the bedroom done. We need to get the office done. It's going to be a crazy busy week. So,
well,
anyway.
Keep the Wi-Fi active.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Special thanks to Mary Cassiope for joining us from Bridges to Prosperity and Marcus Smith, State Farm Insurance. Remember, friends, you change the world when you help one person. Be a blessing to someone this week. We'll try to do the same. Meet you back here next week for another In Crowd 815 podcast. Bye.
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 In crowd, 815 in crowd.